Danny, Manchester United comprehensively beaten by City at the weekend at Old Trafford. In 3 years of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, £441 million spent. How damning is it this morning for every Manchester United fan watching on that they seem poles apart from their City rivals, Manchester City? Certainly, speaking post-match to talkSPORT, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was under absolutely no illusion about the pressure that he's going to come under.
I understand the critics. Of course, we've lost the 2 games against Liverpool and City, and not with. We weren't close to winning either of them. So of course, I'm not blind and I'm not deaf. I've seen what's happened, but I believe in myself. I believe in the coaching staff. I've got incredible coaching staff. The attention to detail. We need to start believing that we can do it. Players, staff, everyone, fans, because this club will always bounce back, and when we play Watford, we'll be ready.
See, they're lining up now, Danny, whether Ole likes it or not. Now, from the moment I announced that we're going to talk about Manchester United in a few moments, this is one of many. Dave's a Manchester United fan. The whole of Manchester United as a club needs to waken up. From the board to the players, the manager's got to go. He's not vocal or tactical enough. The captain now has to be dropped. They have to start replacing players in midfield. The formation needs to change. I could go on, says Dave in Somerset. I mean, the list is endless, it would seem.
Well, I think we're probably sounding quite monotonous, aren't we, on this show regarding this subject?
Well, you are, yeah.
Oh, nice, Jim. Look, they're way off.
Did I not Yoshis right there?
They're way off, aren't they?
Yeah,
We've said it before.
Yeah.
This game at the weekend was another example. It was a perfect example of how far away they are from being competitive with the big boys. It was dominant from City in every aspect of football, with the ball, without the ball, running, desire, tactical, everything. It was embarrassing performance. It was like a when you play the older boys in school and they just toy with you.
Yeah.
Take the mickey out of you. Didn't lay a glove on them.
No. Did you think, before the season started, Danny, did you think they'd be so many miles apart from City and Liverpool?
No, I expected them to do better. I didn't think they'd win it, but I thought they'd be more competitive than they have been. Look, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. This ain't about. It's not personal. It's not a personal thing. I actually like Ole Gunnar. How can you not like him? You know, he's a humble guy, and
everybody says that, but I think Ole's even sick of hearing that.
Yeah, but he doesn't make a good manager, and ultimately he's competing against some of the best managers in the world. So therefore, if United want to be competitive, they need to change and do it quickly. But for some reason, they're not. I
mean, Roy Keane ripped into the players that he's selecting. Fred being one of them. I mean, I heard that.
Roy's been a little bit, what's the word? He's deflecting from Ole a lot because he likes him and he gets on with him. And actually, yes, players do have to take responsibility to a degree, but I'll go back to what I always say. The manager manages and leads and sets the example and sets the tone. And if you don't get on board what the manager's doing, then you don't play. Now, that squad is big enough to rotate, change players, give players more kicks up the backside. There's no repercussions for level of performance. The respect's not quite there, is it? They like Ole. They go out and play.
Do you agree with Roy that Fred should be nowhere near it?
This ain't about Fred.
It's not about Fred, exactly right.
This is not about Fred.
McTominay get mentioned as well.
Well, if you're comparing Fred and McTominay to Roy Keane and Scholes and Carrick...
But it is about Fred, it is about McTominay, it's about player selection.
Well, I tell you this, if you put Fred in Manchester City's midfield, they're not going to start losing games. Because he's in a structure where they play good football, he's tenacious, he does the job, he's not creative. And for Manchester United, yeah, they probably should have someone better.
But he's got better players around him at Manchester City. He doesn't have it at United.
But it's in a structure.
And it seems that he doesn't know what he's doing.
It's in a structure. Rodri's a wonderful player because he's playing in a wonderful team, but he's not splitting defences open with his passing.
So if the structure's wrong, it's a manager's problem. And if the manager keeps on getting it wrong, as he appears to be doing, in this international break, why aren't they pulling the trigger?
I don't know. I can't fathom it. Plan B, where is it? The Conte have missed the boat with him. Apparently he was too similar to Mourinho and he's not the United way.
Because the rest are on the rise, Simon. West Ham are on the rise.
Well, look, I mean...
Don't be fooled by it.
I mean, I've been dealing in the area of fact over sentiment for 3 years. And every time you open your mouth about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because if you dare talk about Man United, it's not favourable, then you have a agenda against Man United. And the fact of the matter is that he will get Manchester United to fall for fifth in the league. He'll get you second in a poor league. But second is, you might as well be third, you might as well be fourth, because second is just second. Manchester United, I thought, their whole ideal and the whole sentiment behind Man United is they were built to win. Now, they've moved from being built to win. They're winning off the pitch. The economics of Manchester United stack up still. The sponsorship deals, the revenue generation, and so on and so forth. They'll probably come through the Champions League, so I would wager you that there might be even more challenges coming down the pike if he'd lost that game against Atalanta on Wednesday or Tuesday, whenever they play, because it would have been a challenge then to get out of the Champions League group qualifiers. Then you start to hit them in the pockets. The challenge for me is that I've been saying for 3 years about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being a very decent football manager with a decent squad of players. What you're just seeing is levels. The levels of Manchester City and Liverpool and Chelsea, from the dugout onto the pitch, and what the pitch represents is what the dugout tells it to represent, is evident. It's everybody that sits there that gives Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a pass from 1 week to the next is culpable in facilitating a problem that cannot be resolved by this poor bugger being in the dugout for Man United. It's a death of 1,000 cuts. He will get a result against someone, come back round again, come against one of the big side, smack. Round again, we'll go around in the cycle. We'll go round and round in cycles until the Doomsday Book has been finished written. Yeah. Because he doesn't have... I like his response to the media when he tells them, I'm not deaf and I'm not blind. I think, oh, good for you. And then he kills it by saying, because I've got a world-class coaching staff. He doesn't have that. Behind the scenes, I'm sure some very decent, industrious people that want to have the best interests of Man United. But we can all be busy fools. We can all want to do something well. There's a difference between wishing it and wishing it doesn't make it so. The difference between Ole and Thomas Tuchel and Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp is the same as the difference between day and night. And everybody can see it. And if he wants people in the media, whether it's Rio Ferdinand or whether it's Gary Neville or whether it's Roy Keane, to defend him, they're not helping the solution of the football club that they purport to love.
Considering so is it inevitable, Simon, that he goes?
It's inevitable that he doesn't win anything for Man United. So if that means that Man United's blueprint is to win something, it's inevitable he goes. If their blueprint isn't to win something, then continue as you are. But you're seeing all the clubs around the country, fans now supporting his appointment.
We've said it before, he was manager of Cardiff, manager of Mulder. He didn't have the experience for the job. And actually, considering the lack of experience he had of managing a big club, he did all right. He done all right. You know, he's probably done as well as you could expect him to do.
But the ones before him, I mean, in spite of what he did, Mourinho won something. Van Gaal won the FA Cup. But they did. It didn't work out.
It didn't work out, but he won 2 trophies. Manchester United's about winning trophies.
And the argument that Gary Neville, again, I keep referencing Gary because he isn't the blueprint for everything, but the argument that he advanced, because he's very vociferous about Man United, was that Conte would come in and do something that Man United don't want. What you mean win? Because that's what he does. He wins. And I think Conte, if he'd have gone to Man United, would have been able to give everything he wanted at Man United, because I don't think there'd have been anyone pulling the plug on him economically. I think he plays a brand of football that actually Man United fans might have appreciated, because there's a lot of misnomers about what he does and doesn't do. Yeah. But what he does do, undeniably, is win. And we can't keep on saying that Mourinho didn't do anything. And we can't keep on saying that Louis van Gaal didn't do anything. They won something. And the press took Louis van Gaal down. The press decided that he was a certain way. He was arrogant and egotistical in press conferences, and he was a bit of a difficult sod. But the fact of the matter is, his team won.
Yeah. Well, what we hear, and I don't think he's spoken about it yet, was that Conte would have been prepared to speak to United.
Of course he would.
So they've missed the boat there. Tottenham have done United on that one. So
they've done themselves.
As we struggle to conjure some names together for Villa, and it is a bit of a struggle. Gerrard, would he take it? Hasenhüttl, would he go? Simon's thrown in Ten Hag. Who's waiting in the wings to take over from Solskjaer?
Well, there's a lot of coaches out there. And of course, there's only an elite few who've got the amount of trophies that Pep, Conte, Klopp have got.
Right, so this is saying so there's no obvious...
So you might have to take a bit of a gamble on somebody, but in terms of what they've won before. But that gamble's worth taking. It's worth taking.
With whom?
Ten Hag.
This is arguably the biggest and best job in football. Because Man United are not suffering like Barcelona. They're not suffering like Real Madrid in the league that wants to hold them back. Yeah. They're not suffering from an economics.
But Tottenham showed them a clean pair of heels on Conte.
Well, they didn't show them a clean pair of heels because Man United weren't at the races.
They weren't competing.
They weren't competing. And that's the implausible side of it. We're all sitting here and saying, it's not being hateful or singling on it. It's just fact over sentiment.
Yeah.
You haven't won anything in 3 years. You're not going to win the Premier League this year. You're going to struggle to win the Champions League. You're not likely to win anything. And if that's what United want, which no one believes they do, if it's not about achievement off on the pitch, then what is it about? Because we are making a lot of noise about achievement on a pitch. But United's balance sheet says decent football club bringing in £400-500 million a year, sponsorship deals up the yin-yang. What is it telling you about what the ownership model really must believe? Because the ownership model is reflected in the dugout.
Yeah.
Because they back him financially. I mean, you can't argue that they
No,
back him
they do.
financially.
You're right,
So
Simon.
what are they
You're
backing?
right. So is there anybody out there, United fan, who is still with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Surely there must be some of you still with him. 03717 223344. And if it is time up in this international break, who should be next? Who's the obvious name? Ten Hag? Give us a call. 03717 223344. 81089.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.